everybody. Today I want to talk about a topic which I have talked about before, and that is the innovation factor in the UK's Innovator Founder Visa. I have previously talked about this topic before, and my personal stance and opinion is that this requirement in the UK is slightly flawed and unclear. And this is something that a lot of applicants and clients have resonated with as well. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a comparative study here, and what I will do is I will use the Dutch residence permit for startup entrepreneurs, so pretty much the same version of the UK's Innovator Founder Visa. I will compare these two together, and perhaps this is a video that could resonate with applicants, but it could also be beneficial for policymakers or anybody in this domain to, perhaps take note and make a change on this subject. So let's get into it. Okay, so before I actually go into the actual policy documents, I will just put it this way, that in the UK, innovation is primarily defined on the basis of the product or service being entirely different from anything else that exists in the market. And another criteria that is applicable to this requirement is replicability. So how easy it is to be copied by others. Now, the issue with this is that replicability, unless it is protected by some form of legal measure, let's say patents or intellectual property, even that doesn't provide 100% guarantee against replicability. But even then, replicability is very easy. Okay, so what needs to really be defined here is who should not be able to replicate that. Because let's say if you have a mobile application or something like that, it may not be easy for the average person to go and copy that. However, a bigger firm with a lot of resources and developers, so human resources, can easily go and replicate that. In a way, that pretty much undermines this entire requirement because, as I said, unless there is some form of legal protection, anything can be replicated in this day and age. So that's the UK. Now let's go and look at some actual policy documents in here. And I will actually highlight how the Netherlands has done a far better job in defining this innovation factor. I'm going to start with the guidance for endorsing bodies in the Gov UK website. This is the guidance for endorsing bodies under the Innovator Founder and Scale-up visas, and it is the most reliable and accurate source for understanding the policy behind this visa. Okay, so under the same guidance, which innovation is defined under the innovative subsection here, there is 3 key criteria that is defined. So number 1 is demonstrating a clear and compelling unique selling proposition, USP. What is it that differentiates it from its competitors, therefore being very different from anything else in the market? And secondly, it goes into that replicability. So essentially, it can demonstrate reasonable barriers of market entry to otherwise replicating their proposed innovation. Again, a flawed one, going back to my previous point. And number 3, the innovation element should be core to the success of the proposed business proposition and be primarily delivered within the business. Okay, that one's fair enough. However, this is the issue here. The issue with this aspect is it doesn't set a clear benchmark for innovation. Not being replicable, it's correct and accurate in theory. However, the problem is that, as I said, not easily replicated by who, and it doesn't mention anything in relation to intellectual property or, legally protecting that innovation, which at least would be a clear requirement. But the issue with setting that is that that will deter and disqualify a lot of applicants because the majority of products or services will not qualify for and be able to obtain a patent. So there is that. Just to note that if you actually need help with patents, if you do work with me, I actually work with a patent attorney, which I can happily refer you to. Again, on a final note that I should say here is that I completely understand if the purpose of this logic of innovation is to prevent generic businesses. So for example, a taxi company or a kebab shop or a supermarket or something like that. But then again, the requirement in itself, it is flawed. Okay, so now let's look at the residence permit for foreign startups in the Netherlands. As you can see, that's the website address where you can find the information in relation to this visa. Now, there are 5 conditions. Of course, we're going to focus on condition number 2, which is that the product or service is innovative. Now, as you can see, there is 3 clear criteria that is defined which the business must meet. 1, either it's new to the Netherlands, similar to the UK, a new technology for production, distribution, or marketing is involved. That's condition number 2. So it really does clarify the details in relation to that. And number 3, there is a new innovative organizational and process approach. So there is that one. However, one thing that is really admirable and valuable in this visa is you can see there are actual clear examples here. For example, the product represents new technology. However, one thing that I really like about this one is the emphasis and acknowledgement of socially responsible enterprise and social innovation. This is something that the UK hasn't done. There's no mention of such ventures in the Innovator Founder Visa at all. And, with the state of the world, with, the phenomenons that exist as existential threats to the world, such a measure is very valuable in the sense that it encourages enterprises that, perhaps do focus on profit, but they also seek to address global challenges. And this is something that, it puts the host country at an advantage on several fronts. So there is that one. So to conclude this analysis, I would say that the UK and the Innovator Founder Visa and the requirement of innovation has a fundamental flaw, and that flaw is the lack of clarity and a clear benchmark as to what constitutes innovation. And therefore, as a result, determining innovation is merely a subjective assessment, and that is up to the endorsing bodies, which many may disagree with, including myself. However, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you are considering either of these visa paths and you require business assistance in any of them, whether it's evaluating the innovation of your product or evaluating your business as a whole or your business plan, a wide range of packages, feel free to visit my website and I will be more than happy to see if I'm able to help you. Thanks for watching this video and I'll see you soon.